Welcome to the new age. We're back again to talk about the debt ceiling, Capitol Hill madness, and what's going on with the politics and our money. So let's hop straight into it with this clip. Play the clip.
Look, we all know that Senate Republicans have manufactured a crisis that threatens to plunge our economy back into recession. We do not have the luxury of using a drawn-out, convoluted, and risky process. We could prevent a catastrophic default with a simple majority vote tomorrow. If Republicans would just get out of the damn way, we could get this all done. We're not asking them to vote yes, just get out of the way.
Okay, so before we dissect that, what that clip was, this is Datwan, this is LJ. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like, comment, subscribe, and tell us what you think about this video and the debt ceiling. As you've seen, Chuck Schumer was just talking about the debt ceiling and how the Republicans are in the way of the Democrats passing the debt ceiling. But, you know, honestly, I'm just confused at this point. Because he's saying the Republicans in the way, but the Republicans saying, go ahead and just pass it. Y'all don't need us. So which one is it?
You know, it's interesting how the public can be fooled by all of these shenanigans that's happening in Congress, while our rating as a economy or as a nation's world power is steady being downgraded. And with the potential of us as citizens, they talk about the corporations, they talk about the government, but us as citizens stand to lose everything.
Stand to lose everything. And to be honest, I'm not sure if they stand to lose nothing.
Exactly. You know, we just talked about the the Pandora Papers. You know, with the internet, so much stuff is coming out, and I feel like their dresses are being lifted up,
right,
or the curtain is being pulled back, right, for the public to see.
Right, and it's up for us. It's one thing to see it. It's another thing to expose it and call it out for what it is. And it's just political warfare at its finest, and it's the blame game.
We talking about agendas.
Agendas. That's all we talking about.
Whose agenda will win?
Right.
The Democrats or the Republicans? The
Red
Republicans or the Democrats?
Crip or blood? I don't even know at this point.
It's looking bloody in these streets, right. I tell you that.
So again, we talking about Chuck Schumer and the debt ceiling, but I want to get into what is going on with Biden.
Ooh.
So Biden is meeting with top U.S. banks and business leaders on the debt ceiling. So some of those include J.P. Morgan Chase. Some of those include Bank of America CEOs, Intel Corp, Citigroup, which is Bank of America, Raytheon Technologies Corp, the NASDAQ Inc., and it was Intel Corp in there. So
why would Wall Street be meeting with these banks and all these other corporations? NASDAQ?
Right.
Very interesting.
So that, and you know, that's exactly what I was about to ask you. What makes Biden want to meet with all these corporations? Some are not even, you know, banks. Some are tech companies. Some are, you know, software, infrastructure, digital companies. What does that show you?
You know, it's interesting because in 2019, some of the top CEOs of these corporations they stepped down from their corporations and they pulled out of the market. 3 to 6 months later, we had a market crash.
Right.
So I'm wondering, does that correlate or translate to what's happening now? And it seems like corporations and banks are always up on the news.
You would, right, and you would think that the Republicans, like, we're getting out the way. You can do what you want. You got the majority vote, and even Schumer says we got the majority. Just the Republicans get out the way. Then why does Biden need to meet with corporate America?
Is it for preparation of a potential crash, similar to, like I said, 2019, leading into 2020?
Right. Again, this all can be dealt with on Capitol Hill. You don't need to invite anybody anywhere.
So you're telling me that the debt ceiling can be raised with one stroke of the pen through the Democratic Party, but
or Republican Party.
Or the Republican Party, but instead of doing that, have this thing draw out, put American people at potential risk, all of this seems like a better solution than simply signing a damn bill.
Well, you heard what Chuck Schumer said. He said he doesn't want this to be a long, drawn-out process. So
I also heard Chuck Schumer say that the Republicans are manufacturing the crisis with the American economy.
honestly, when I seen that clip and I read this article, it just left me confused. It just left me confused.
I'm still confused.
So anyway, let me just read this last part. Senator Majority Leader Chuck Schumer will force a vote Wednesday, which is today, his third try in 9 days, on whether to take up a measure suspending the nation's debt ceiling until December 2022. Republicans, as they did the last 2 times, have promised to filibuster the legislation.
If Chuck Schumer gets his wish and this is extended, what happens in regards to the debt ceiling and being pushed down the road? What happens? Or why do you think he would do something like this? Is it a solution?
It is not a solution. It's kicking the can down the road. I think the Republicans are trying to do the filibuster because they don't want it kicked down the road. I think they just want the Democrats to just do it through the majority. The Democrats don't seem like they want to do it through the majority, but I think they will at shot clock, at the buzzer. You know, the deadline's in 2 weeks. I think they'll eventually end up doing it then.
Okay.
But as you was leading to, if they kick the can down the road to December 2022, it makes you think, what happens in 2022?
Is it time to, is it a vote coming up in 2022?
I think so.
At that time, is it potential for the House to be taken back over by the Republicans?
Or the Democrats. Extend their majority.
Okay.
So on November 8th, we'll have more House representatives to elect.
2022?
2022.
Okay.
More Senate seats to elect in 2022. And it makes you think, is that why they're trying to extend this to December 2022?
Could they be possibly extending it in that way? And we're talking about the Democratic Party. If they extend it, they still have the option to use their reconciliation bill on the $3.5 trillion bill that they have on the table to be passed that the Republicans plan on blocking.
Right, because you can only use reconciliation 3 times in a year. So it's a lot of questions that are up in the air.
For us, the American people.
And to be honest, I think the American people is just confused and fed up at the end of the day. We see the political warfare. We see the madness on Capitol Hill. We see corporate America getting invited to Capitol Hill. And the rest of America is just like, what the fuck is going on? This is the new age. This is Datwan. This is LJ. Like, comment, subscribe. We are almost at 100 subscribers. We appreciate y'all. Thank you. Welcome to the new age.